All right, well here it is. The intake manifold, it's done, it works. Sounds crazy. It has some really crazy throttle response. Really wants to rev. It's going to be interesting with the turbo. Anyway, want to see it run? Here it is. Okay, yep, this is my 4200 manifold. I did do this for about $100 in materials, but it did take me about 15 to 20 hours to build it, so bear that in mind. It is an untested design, so we'll see how this does. And before I do put the boost on this, the folded seams, I think I'm going to weld these off just to make sure they're super strong. This one here. And so anyway, here's the video on how I did it. Enjoy. All right, so this is my brace idea. Just kind of use these things from the rear sump oil pan on this. First time I ever made some headers, I did not brace them, and I figured out why you have to. It will easily curve one way or the other and become unusable. So I'm going to try to brace this on here. Also, the cool part about this is I'll be able to see the intake ports if they're lining up or not before I cinch everything down and begin welding. Anyway, just to show you how I'm going to do it. Threaded rod. Make sure you slip all the nuts up before the cuts, or it's harder to get them on. All right, here it is. All set up, all lined up. You can see the ports. These are all the, I only use four studs on it. And I think it's gonna hold it in just fine. Time to weld it off. All right, I admit I'm still learning aluminum. A little bit more to learn here, but this phase is done. I can take the brace off and start folding up the plenum. Sounds fun. Another view of it. All right, so in order to bend that 1/8 inch aluminum in this kind of machine, you have to score a line in it with the cutoff wheel. I managed to find aluminum cutoff wheels on Amazon. They work a lot better than the regular ones like at Harbor Freight or wherever you get them. So just score this line probably about halfway through, and you'll be able to make the bends with that machine. All right, we're kind of close. Let's see, get it to bend just a little bit more. That's pretty nice. Maybe too much. All right, it's almost getting there. I think I'm about out of time for tonight. But this is the piece I just made. And getting close. There's a thing hitting it right here. It's almost there. Anyway, that's what I'm going for. Making it angled on the bottom for possible wheel well clearance. There's this little thing right here. Anyway, see more next in a few minutes. I guess next time or a few minutes into this video, as it takes days or weeks. All right, the other day I welded or partially welded the runners on to the $50 manifold, and this thing is in the way. So I found stainless steel weld-on bungs or and fitting connectors. Amazon, not too hard to find. I might put this back there. Just hammer this closed and weld that off and just kind of pinch that off. Maybe I'll use this as a return line in the future. Put this over here somewhere. Use the TIG welder. I'll have to see if I have any stainless steel rods at home and put this on there. And it'd be kind of cool if it just fed in this one way. It'd be in the back. But anyway, that's next. Go back. Anyway, let me go back real quick and touch on this thing. Previous videos, I got this thing for $100 and kind of refurbished it. These things started stripping out, and so I tapped these out to a 1/2 inch, I believe, and then they didn't have a back nut on them, but they do have that now. And then it's not all the force is on the threads. It sits on the shoulder of this thing also, especially if you're going to use. I went to the steel yard and got this. What is this thing? 5-foot bar. They have this. It's just a rectangle stock, solid bar. Really makes this thing more usable. You don't have to use a cheater bar. Even then I was still struggling, but I am able to make the bends with this. All right, so the next huge thing is the modifying the fuel rail. I just cut this off and hammered it. I figured maybe it'd be good to leave some of that on in case I needed to attach a return. But anyway, I just hammered that off. I'm gonna take that with steel, and this is the new return towards the black back. These are on Amazon, stainless steel. I just drilled this in. I'm gonna weld that off too. All right, there it is. It's capped off. It's welded on there. Still not the best TIG welder, but I think it's gonna work. All right, so I've got this kind of tacked up here. I don't want to weld it all off and have this whole thing warp all over the place. Got a couple tacks on the bottom. There's the interior cavity, and paper is kind of cool to figure out what you need to do. I'm gonna cut these ends, but not install them until I get the tube I need. I'm gonna use some 3.5 inch tube to come over like at a 45 out past the alternator. Don't have that yet, but might as well cut these ends and then weld this whole thing off, and that'll be getting something done tonight. All right, trace these things all out, make the cuts, and see how they fit. All right, this is what I'm figuring out with the interface into the plenum. It's gonna be a piece that looks like this, and I think it's gonna be super trick. Just kind of blend in real nice. Now I gotta cut all these things away and make it blend in perfect. So this is what I'm doing to cut these lines, is kind of go over it in a semicircle or circle segment area here, but the only way to get all the way through with a cutoff wheel is to go these and just break them off with the channel locks. So that's what I'm doing. I've got one done over here. It came up pretty nice. So if I haven't mentioned before, I want to mention it again. These things really work. I get these on Amazon, and they just gave me some free stickers actually if you fill out the little the QR code. But anyway, you gotta use these. It's way better than using standard ones. They look the same, but this is what you want. So if you do end up making it the way I'm making it, I think I'm gonna weld these on first, and then that way I'll be able to get in there and grind anything smooth that may be rough before I weld the ends of these things on. But I think I'm gonna start it this way and then put this on over it. And I think it'll be easier to clean up the inside. All right, so this is the bottom of the manifold. I've got 2 vacuum ports, and here's my map sensor. I put it down here. I've just got a 5/16 bolt on here and a washer, and then I've got a little lock nut. I'll be able to lock this down so that thing hopefully won't come loose. Again, it's the bottom of the manifold, so you won't even see any of this stuff. All right, just welded up the back of this thing. There are all the plugs. There's the back. There's my extension cord, my 220. I've got a plug that I installed right outside the breaker panel. I have to run this big extension cord around the house. I gotta climb underneath there, so I don't have to do this anymore, but anyway, that's it. Oops, missed a whole part. Now I'm done. All right, cleaned it all up, threw a little 20-minute polish on it, and about to put it on the motor and see what she looks like there. Oh, we got to talk about gaskets. That's the next thing. All right, so next is the gasket material. I guess you could use RTV on this, but what I'm going to try to do is I got this, it's called neoprene rubber gasket. I've already cut some of this out for the throttle body here. Basically to cut these little holes, I found this at Harbor Freight. It's these are pretty cool. You just put these things on a block of wood and it punches the holes out. So I think what I'm going to do is use maybe a piece of paper, painter's paper, and trace it all out. Do that trick where you just kind of run around and it traces all the ports and holes and everything for you, and cut it out real nice and lay it out on this and try to cut it with an X-Acto. Or maybe I'll just put this directly on there and do the same thing. It seemed to make a mark when I did it with this, and cut it out with the scissors and then get it closer and just maybe spend an hour or two with it and punch all the bolt holes out with this on a block of wood. So let's check it out. All right, so I kind of did that on this first one here. And you can see it makes a mark. It's got the little fuel injector hump right there. I think I'm gonna try that first and just locate these things. Maybe I'll punch a drill bit through, get the bolt holes, kind of locate those. But yeah, you can see them. It's just like a piece of paper, greasy thumb. All right, let's try this thing for the bolt locators. Maybe it'll make them more, maybe it'll self-center. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, here's another view to it. See, just my thumb just going across this stuff, kind of mark these out pretty nice. I think there's a lot of gasket material around here, so I think if you cut it a little bit too big, it might be all right. But let me try to cut right up to that line and see what that looks like. All right, I just discovered something huge. I pulled it off and it makes a super clean line on the other side. So I'm gonna definitely use that 100% as the reference line. All right, I spent 2 minutes on this. Pretty good. I'm gonna do the rest now. All right, well that was fun. It's kind of like a little art project. So anyway, I'm gonna bolt this thing on the engine, and then hopefully in a day or two, I'll know if this melts or not. It's supposed to withstand heat. I'm not sure how much heat. So I think it would be kind of cool. Oh, and then I guess the real test is when you take it apart, is it becomes stuck to the engine. I mean, I guess fuel line is neoprene and that comes apart. So I'm hoping this just comes apart, or at least you don't have to scrape it forever. It'd be kind of cool to reuse this gasket a couple times if you do need to take it apart for any reason. But anyway, let's bolt it up. All right, don't forget to do these. All right, so after struggling with it for a little bit, I put tape on the top of this to hold it in place. I cut the gasket to the very top of this, so as long as this lines up, it's the right spot. It is possible to push it on the bottom. I left a little, like 1/8 of an inch down there long, so I'm able to push this around and adjust it. So once you get all the bolts in there, you can take the tape out before you snug it up. I gotta mention this little mini ratchet with the little bit drivers come in that little box. It's really the only way to do these up here if you're using the Allen head screws. I got a couple of hex on there. Anyway, it's a cool little tool. All right, well, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all of that. You can do this. Not sure if the very first one I ever made will work perfectly, but it has been a heck of a learning process. I've learned a little bit more about welding aluminum in tight spots, and just teaches you to think outside the box and be more creative. That's what it's all about. Thank you.